Hi guys! Please tell me why I woke up today and chose to be delusional. Because I decided to make a red velvet layer cake, I may add. And not just any cake, no, a spooky Halloween inspired one. And the funny part is, I have never made a layered cake before, not once. But somehow, I may or may not have promised my sister I would make her this dramatic bloody velvet cake. So here we are, diving straight into it. No experience, just pure confidence. And did you know that the red velvet cake actually started out as a chocolate cake? Like, it used to taste like chocolate, rich, deep, and cocoa-y. But now, most red velvet cakes are basically vanilla with food coloring. The red part doesn't even taste like anything. It's honestly a little disappointing. I mean, all that drama for a color that does nothing for the flavor. Anyway, I will leave the exact measurements in the description, so if you wanna try this cake with me or make it even better, you will find everything you need there. Honestly, I'm not really scared of baking the actual cake, that part feels fine. What does scare me a little is everything that comes after in terms of the layers, the filling, frosting, trying to stack everything together without it sliding off. So, starting off with the first disappointment of the day, the cake didn't even rise the way it was supposed to. I was planning to do a four nice even layers, that tall, impressive bakery style look. But the cake had other plans. We respect that. It came out looking a little short, I might say. So we are working with what we have got, which means slicing it into three layers instead of four. It's fine, totally fine. We are just gonna call it a compact version. It sounds intentional that way, I hope. I left the cake to cool a bit so we can slice it later and moved into making the filling and the icing. So I melted the chocolate, white chocolate, added it into a warm heavy cream, mixed everything together well until the chocolate really melts into the heavy cream, and then used a hand mixer until the texture comes out looking like this. We are going to put it in the fridge to use it later. And as if things weren't already going off track, when it came time to slice the cake into layers, well, everything started to go downhill. I was trying to be all gentle and precise, but somehow I managed to completely break this layer. Can you see that? It's a complete disaster. And my guess is it's not about me not being gentle, no. It's because the cake was still warm a bit, not cold, and that's a red flag. A velvet flag, I may add. So at this moment, I decided to pretend nothing happened and just keep going. I tried to stack everything together anyways. And by the way, that's raspberry filling. I chose it because of its color, so when it's time to slice the cake, it will look like blood coming out of the cake. The vision is there, it's in my mind, but making it a reality, it's really hard. So let's all pretend that the cake isn't looking like that. So because the broken piece kept sliding off, I tried to glue it using the icing and the filling. And well, the frosting from the middle was just squeezing out everywhere. It was messy and honestly a little heartbreaking. But at that point, I was in too deep to quit. And I'm not a quitter, so I'm gonna finish this whatever it takes. And thank God we only have three layers, not four layers. So this is the final one. I'm just trying to salvage what I can. I want to put it in the fridge so it can cool a bit, and the icing just freezes. So we can work on it better tomorrow. It's sliding off. It has an off angle, It's not straight. It's like an Ibiza tower. So after all that chaos, I decided to just call it a day. I popped the cake in the fridge and told myself I will deal with the decoration tomorrow. Come back with a fresh mindset and good energy, and I actually did. This is the next day. I came back all motivated, thinking I was about to fix everything and make it look amazing. I started out with the just fixing the icing. I tried to do the swirl look, from Pinterest. For the blood dripping effects from the sides, I just used the icing I had, added milk until I reached a watery consistency like this, and I added the red food coloring, kept stirring until we had this color right here, which is perfect, I think. So I got the cake from the fridge, started working on the drip, that dramatic red blood effect on the sides, and of course it didn't go as planned. The drip just wasn't dripping right. It either ran too much or didn't stick at all. So at that point I tried to salvage it however I could. It might not have turned out exactly how I pictured, so I'm just using the spoon trying to I also had this great idea, or at least I thought it was a great idea at the time, to use raspberry frosting from the inside as a part of the decoration on top. I figured it would tie everything together and make it look extra dramatic, but of course, it turned out to be completely different shade of red than the drip on the sides. One was deep and dark, the other one was bright and pinkish. They just didn't match at all. The second I added it, everything started looking a little off, so I tried to fix it by scooping off the drip from the sides to clean it up a little and save the look, but of course it just made everything worse. The drip started to mix with the white icing and suddenly it looked like the cake had been through a crime scene, but it looked scary. That's good. I tried to smear it more and this is the final result. I guess you could say it ended up being a little too realistic for what I had in mind, and this is the result. I hope you guys like the video. It was funny. It was a funny experience. Would I try it again? Maybe, but not the red velvet cake. Let's go with chocolate cake next time. That I think I can make it work.